mental health. Brought to you by Barber Behavioral Health, a service of Barber National Institute.
We're happy to welcome Cecilia Hollins from Barber Behavioral Health back here to the Blue Couches. Welcome, Cecilia.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes, nice to have you. Today we're talking about the mental health concerns of the LGBTQ plus community.
Yes. So June is Pride Month, and this is a month where we not only honor and celebrate members of the LGBTQ plus population, but also highlight ongoing barriers and stigma that they face. And part of that, unfortunately, means that they do have some unique mental health challenges as compared to their non-LGBTQ counterparts.
So what would some of those unique mental health issues be?
So I guess it would be more accurate to say they're at increased risk. So particularly youth and young adults. So in young adults between the ages of 18 and 29, more than half of LGBTQ respondents identified having depression on the most recent US Census Bureau, and 61% of respondents identified having anxiety. Among youth, so adolescents who identify as being within the LGBTQ plus community, they are at 4 times a greater risk for attempting suicide, which is a major concern. And there's many other concerns as well in terms of development of eating disorders, body dysmorphia, as well as PTSD because of potential risk for violence or discrimination.
I would think that some of the concerns would be more with the youth that haven't quite come to terms yet, or their family hasn't quite come to terms with. Maybe they're hiding things, keeping it to themselves, and then that would be very, very taxing on their mental health. Yeah,
absolutely. So we know the biggest mitigating factor for protecting people who are LGBTQ plus from developing a severe mental health concern is family support. And unfortunately, oftentimes, people who are LGBTQ plus just do not have that, or they are rejected by their family members. So because acceptance and social supports are so important when it comes to maintaining mental health, unfortunately, again, that does contribute to an increased risk, which is why it's so important to be aware of resources that exist, so that even if maybe your family and friends aren't accepting, you can kind of create a network of a chosen family that is accepting.
Community that does support you. What are some of those resources locally that members of the LGBTQ plus community locally can use?
So we have a couple really good ones. There's the Greater Erie Alliance for Equality. They do a lot of education. And they have some really excellent resources there. And then there is Compton's Table, which is a really good social support. They do some support groups and provide some other additional resources as well. Nationally, there's PFLAG, which provides educational resources as well to families and friends of people who are in the LGBTQ plus population. And then there is the Trevor Project, which offers a wealth of information as well as 24/7 crisis support to anybody who might be suffering from thoughts of suicide.
And it's something to talk about here in Pride Month here in the month of June, but we appreciate you, Cecilia, being here and sharing some of that with us. The Barber Behavioral Health, it is a great place to start. If you do need to reach out, the number and the address there on your screen.
Thanks, Cecilia. Nice
Thank
to
you
see
so much for having me.